Hi, Falcons. Settlers who came to the United States from Europe during colonial times, much like the Pilgrims, decorated their homes using cross stitching, which is a sewing technique. And we are going to be doing a project much like that today. We are going to be making cross stitch samplers using graph paper. Here is an example of one that I made. In colonial times, they probably would have used material and different color thread to create their creations and possibly hang them in their home, which is why this one I wrote down Home Sweet Home. I wanted to share with you a couple more examples before we get started. This one I created, it says inspire, create, repeat. And I also have one that says Yukio, which means live in the moment. And you can see that you can even make designs like butterflies, or as I did in the first one, I created some hearts. And this one I was trying to be a little silly, and I thought this would be fun to hang on my bedroom door, and it says go away, and it's got a skull and crossbones. The materials that you are going to need today are this sheet. It is a graph paper sampler. It is in the link that you have in the material needed section, and you could have also picked this up at Forestall, but you can bring this up on the link and do it right along with us. You will also need a sheet of graph paper, also available in the link to print out, or you could have picked this up at Forestall also. If you don't have either, the horizontal lines of a piece of notebook paper and then just draw your own vertical lines to create these little boxes will work for you. You will also need, a pencil with an eraser because mistakes can happen. And you will need some thin markers or colored pencils to go over your work afterwards to create these nice colors that I have in my example. So go get your materials and we'll get started. Welcome back. I hope you have all your supplies and are ready to get started. This is going to be so helpful to you when we are making this project. So I hope that you have this by your side or up on your screen when you are ready to get started. A good tip might be to write out the phrase that you want to say. Maybe you want to say home sweet home. So you would write that maybe on your sheet just so that you remember which letters and how to spell your word. Today, just for time's sake, I am going to do a very simple one word to share with you, and I'm going to do the word love. So I'm going to look and see that love starts with an L. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 X's going down. So I'm going to go to my paper and put X's in 7 boxes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then 3 more across. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to want to leave a space right here and go here when I start my next letter, which is going to be the O. And I'm going to follow along looking at the O so that I can see how to create that O. Again, leave a space And I'm going to go and see how to make that V. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I will then go to my last letter. Remember, put that space, that row of spaces between them. And I have my word love. I am then going to go over them using my markers so that it'll really stand out. Now that I know I did it correctly, I can go over that with my colored marker or colored pencil, whichever you have available. I find markers to probably work the best because they do a great job covering that pencil line. Important things that I might want to include after I write my entire phrase or name or word might be a beautiful border going around. There are different images that we can use that they're teaching us. They've taught us how to make an infinity page symbol, or a decorative corner. If I wanted to do that in the corner of my page, I could create a beautiful design right here, just like that. To create a rounded edge around the side. And then make a cool thing happen here to create a border that I can continue around my whole paper. I can also create butterflies by using these instructions, or a rabbit, or cat, or heart. They've shown us how to do all of these different, but if you want to get wild and crazy like I did, you can create your own design. I sat and thought about what a skull would look like with crossbones. So I came up with my own picture, but you can use some of these as your examples after you've created it. So when you're done, you will have something very much like this. I have my Yukio, or I can even have my whole phrase. Notice how I have my incredible border around the entire project. I also, on this one, mounted it on a piece of colored paper just to make it pop a little more if you'd like to do something like that. But I have my border, my phrase. You can write even something like Melvin's room. That's my dog. You can write anything you want, and it is a decorative piece, much like they did in colonial times to decorate their home using thread and material. When you have finished, I want you to ask yourself those all-important questions. Did you follow directions? Did you meet the criteria? Did you create a work of art using our cross-stitch graph paper sampler, creating a phrase, design with a border? How was your craftsmanship? Did you work neatly? And were you creative? Is this unique project made by you? If you can answer yes, sign your name, because great artists sign their name. I also would like you then to go to the microphone in that link and share your stunning colonial graph paper samplers with me. And I hope you have so much fun. This is one of my most favorite projects to do. See you next time.